Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be finding tangent 14 in terms of tangent 13. So tangent 13 degrees is given as x, and we're supposed to find the value of tangent 14 degrees in terms of x. So let's get started. So I'm going to start by using the double angle formula for tangent 13. As you know, the double angle formula, tangent to alpha, can be written as 2 times tangent alpha divided by 1 minus tangent squared alpha. So let's go ahead and replace alpha with 13, and this gives us tangent 26 degrees. And if you don't mind, I'm not going to write the degree symbol every time, but it's understood. Tangent 26 degrees is going to equal 2 times tangent 13 divided by 1 minus tangent squared 13. And since tangent 13 is given as x, this is going to be 2x over 1 minus x squared. So I was able to express tangent 26 in terms of tangent 13, which is x. Let's go ahead and use the double angle formula one more time. And this time we're going to be expressing tangent 52 degrees. And since 52 is 2 times 26, we can just write it as 2 times tangent 26 degrees divided by 1 minus tangent squared 26 degrees. And since tangent 26 is found in terms of x, we can just go ahead and replace tangent 26 with that. So we're going to get something like this. 1 minus that expression squared. Now at this point, I'd like to simplify this. Let's go ahead and simplify this expression here. So tangent 52, again, these are all in degrees, not in radians. That can be written as 4x divided by 1 minus x squared. And the bottom can be written as difference of two squares. If you make a common denominator, obviously this is going to be 4x squared divided by 1 minus x squared quantity squared. So when we make a common denominator, we're going to be getting 1 minus x squared squared minus 4x squared from here, and that'll be divided by 1 minus x squared squared. Okay? Now we're going to go ahead and flip this over and multiply. So let's go ahead and do that. And when we do, we're going to get rid of one of the x squares, or 1 minus x squared actually. And the denominator, when we flip it, it's going to be 1 minus x squared squared minus 4x squared. Now here, we're going to notice that one of these will cancel out, and we're going to end up with this expression. Let's go ahead and distribute that. So we're going to get tangent 52 equals 4x multiplied by 1 minus x squared, which can be written as 4x minus x cubed divided by, now let's go ahead and expand this. This is going to be x to the 4th minus 2x squared plus 1, and I'm going to be subtracting 4x squared from it, so it's going to be negative 6x squared. So we get x to the 4th power minus 6x squared plus 1 for the denominator. So that is the value of tangent 52 degrees. What am I going to do with this? This is the most fun part. I'm going to use the double angle formula one more time. Let's go ahead and use it, and that's going to give me tangent of 104 degrees because 2 times 52. And this is going to equal 2 times tangent 52 divided by 1 minus tangent squared 52 by the double angle formula we just talked about here. So that's the formula I've been using all the time. So now, since we have a value for tangent 52 here, we can just go ahead and substitute that. Let's go ahead and do it and see what happens. Now, when we substitute that, obviously we're going to multiply this whole expression by 2. Let's go ahead and write it down first. And I forgot the 4x cubed there. It should be 4x minus 4x cubed because I was distributing the 4x over here. So it's supposed to be 4x minus 4x cubed. Let me just correct that. So it's going to be 4x minus 4x cubed here as well. And we're going to multiply this quotient by 2 for the numerator. And for the denominator, we have 1 minus that quantity for tangent 52 squared. So this whole thing is going to be squared basically. And we're going to simplify this. Let me go ahead and simplify, and then I'll tell you what this means. We're going to distribute the 2 obviously, so tangent 104 can be written as, if you distribute the 2, you're going to get 8x minus, well, maybe I'll just go ahead and simplify this and then later on flip it. So it's going to look like this: 8x minus 8x cubed divided by x to the 4th minus 6x squared plus 1. And for the denominator, I just need to make a common denominator for the denominator. So that's going to look like x to the 4th minus 6x squared plus 1 quantity squared minus 4x minus 4x cubed quantity squared. And then that'll be divided by the denominator, common denominator, which is x to the 4th minus 6x squared plus 1 quantity squared. Now, next step, we're going to go ahead and flip this to get the value of tangent 104. So the first numerator, the top part is going to stay the same, and the bottom will be flipped. When we do, we're going to be getting x to the 4th minus 6x squared plus 1 quantity squared divided by this expression right here, which is the numerator of the denominator. So that's going to be the denominator, and that's going to be x to the 4th minus 6x squared plus 1 squared minus 4x minus 4x cubed quantity squared. Now at this point, we can just go ahead and simplify one more time. One of these is going to cancel out, and we're going to end up with this expression. Let's go ahead and write it as a product, and we're going to simplify it. Once I have the simplest form, I can kind of tell you what this means. So when we go ahead and write it as a product, so we're going to be getting something like this from here: 8x minus 8x cubed multiplied by x to the 4th minus 6x squared plus 1, and the bottom is just going to be difference of 2 squared. So you can go ahead and write it actually as a product as well. So like this, a squared minus b squared basically can be written as a plus b times a minus b. So it's going to look like this: this plus the other expression multiplied by the first expression minus the second one. When you subtract, you got to be careful to negate everything inside the parentheses. So it's going to be negative 4x plus 4x cubed. And when you go ahead and distribute everything here and simplify it, like combine like terms and put it all together, you should be getting something like this. Okay, well, I could probably leave it as a product for now and kind of tell you what this is all about, and then we'll do the simplifying. Okay, so what does this have to do with the problem, or what is being asked? Well, we're supposed to find tangent 14. If you remember, we've been given tangent 13 and we were trying to find tangent 14, and we were able to get to 104. So what does 104 have to do with 14, right? Well, the relationship is kind of simple. Tangent 104 can be written as tangent 90 plus 14. Of course, these are in degrees, so 90 degrees has an important meaning. Now, when you add 90 degrees to an angle, what happens? Now, at this point, you gotta think about the unit circle. I have an angle in the first quadrant, like 14 degrees, whose tangent value is positive, and I'm just adding 90 degrees to it. And what that does is actually it rotates our angle, and the tangent value and the cotangent values are switched around. Why? Because sine and cosine are switched. That way we get the reciprocal function, because adding 90 or 270 or subtracting it always gives you the reciprocal, or I should say the co-function. If you're dealing with tangent, it's going to turn into a cotangent. But you also have to keep in mind the sign of the quadrant. In the second quadrant, cotangent is negative, or tangent is negative, right? We actually have to take a look at tangent, not cotangent. In this case, it doesn't matter, but sometimes we have to switch from sine to cosine, and it will make a difference. So since we're looking for the tangent value in the second quadrant, it's going to be a negative value. So in other words, tangent 90 plus 14 is going to equal negative cotangent 14. But we were looking for tangent 14, right? So what we need to do is write tangent 14 in terms of negative cotangent 14. So what we need to do is then we're going to negate this and flip it over. So I'm going to take my expression here and I'm going to flip it to get tangent 14, because this is negative cotangent 14. So this whole expression is equal to negative cotangent 14. So I have to negate it and flip it. Okay, and that gives me the following. Tangent 14 as a result in terms of x is going to equal x to the 8th power minus 28x to the 6th power plus 70x to the 4th power minus 28x squared plus 1, and that'll be divided by 8x to the 7th minus 56x to the 5th plus 56x cubed minus 8x. And this brings us to the end of this video. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Until then, be safe, take care, and bye-bye.